Prahara.
Give applause for Hari Parhara.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm going to talk about API versioning. And this is my name, Harwin Prahara, and that's my handle, Hardwinder, and that's my email. So before moving on, about me, a little about me. So I am a fresh graduate from Universitas Indonesia, twice graduated. And then currently I'm working as a software engineer in Cookpad. Okay. So yeah. So I joined Cookpad in 2013 when it's still Dapur Masak, the local company with Didik, and we both migrate to Cookpad platform using Rails, and now I'm an Android engineer with the focus of Kotlin. And also I come from a notorious family, like Prahara. It's a kind of a family name that appears on many headlines, right? Like this one. This is the hottest one, yeah, we have, right? And then also internationally, yeah. And by the way, this is the meaning of Prahara actually. It's tempest, not problem or something. Now, I will introduce the company that I'm working for. Oh, wait, there's an email from Giovanni yesterday. So it states that, oh yeah, what to do then? Well, anyway, my company is the gold sponsor, so you will hear about it anyway. So a little bit of disclaimer since I cannot tell about my company. So the story in this presentation is about a company named Cabe Pedas, hot chili. And I would like to read the disclaimer first. The story, company, all names, characters, and incidents portrayed in this talk are fictitious. No identification with actual persons, being living or deceased, places, buildings, and products is intended or should be inferred, so I cannot be sued. All right, now about Cabe Pedas. It's a global public tech company. It has more than 80 global software engineers. And the offices ranges from Tokyo, Beirut, Jakarta, Alicante, Bristol, and some other global cities. And the tech stack is that the iOS is using Swift, Android using Kotlin, and the API and web server are on Ruby on Rails. And more or less, this is the tech map that you see that the web and API server both serve in one application which is on Ruby on Rails, and it serves the mobile apps in a JSON format and for the browser in HTML. And the focus of this talk is on this part, the interaction between the API server and the mobile apps. But first, what is actually an API? So API is that definition that is I grabbed from a dictionary, but I would like to focus on this. This is the main important feature of an API that you can discuss without having to be completely familiar with the other part. So it's basically a sort of bridge that connects the Rails developer and the mobile apps developer. So you don't have to know, like, for example, like if you are an Android developer, you don't have to really know about Rails, and Rails, you don't really have to know about how the Android framework or the Swift framework is working on. And there are various API formats, but the two most famous one are JSON and XML. And this is the sample of JSON so you have like this kind of format where you have a bracket and then there's information inside it, and this is the sample of the Cabe Pedas is on a recipe company, so it describes a recipe. And if the same data is displayed using XML, it will be like this. So it's more or less like you have the opening tag and the closing tag. All right, then I would like to first give a sample of how the interaction is happening. So an example is that client requests get recipes ID to the server. then what will the server do? The server will return a JSON data. And then the client using that will receive this kind of JSON data, and client will try to render the UI using that data. You see that this is the JSON data, and on the other side is the UI, and this is how the data is being mapped. Then what could go wrong? What could go wrong in an API situation, in an API and mobile app development? Well, Cabe Pedas is an innovative tech company. Its jargon is move fast and break things. It also has this statement: do not ask for permission, ask for forgiveness. Meaning just do it first, then if it goes wrong, you ask for forgiveness. And any other jargon you can find. So the story begins with moving too fast. So this is the picture of an API developer. He's doing his daily job, which is code cleaning. Code cleaning for the win. And he found some dusty endpoints that can be cleaned up. So he cleaned it up and rolling out to the user immediately, because it's easy, right? Okay, production deploy and all done. But then this is the notification that the deploy has been finished. So all is good. But then another developer came. This one is a mobile developer. He says, hey dude, what are you doing? Our app are unusable now. And look, there are a lot of users protesting. What the hell are you doing? Oh, did I remove the wrong API endpoint? Is it still being used? Well, for the next version, it's not. But we're still rolling out that version. Users are not updated yet. There are still a lot of users still using the previous version. Move fast and break things, right? So after that incident and after the rolling back or something, it eventually fixed, and then it comes time to retrospective. Mobile and API server has different rollout nature. So if you are rolling out on a server, then it will take effect on all users immediately. But if you are rolling out an app, it will only affect the users that updates, right? Because users need times to update. Well, it's not the case for the browser. You go to another page and you always get the newest version. This timing gap will cause fire. So both of the mobile developer and the API developer, they kind of agree on something. They make an agreement for the future development. They create a rule of thumb. The first rule of thumb is that if an API changes contains breaking changes that will create, that will make previous version crash, then bump the API version. Make sure that the next app version use the new endpoint. So this is what they are going to do. So if there's a break changes on API side that will break, they will just bump it to version 2 and roll it out. So the current user can still use the version 1, while after they update the apps, they will get the version 2. And if there's another changes, then they will bump it again and do the same process all over again. And the rule number 2 is that you cannot support legacy app forever. At some point, you will have to just cut off, need a cutoff point. When that time comes, make sure that your users know about it. So, for example, in this Cabe Pedas app, they has this in-app mechanism of please update. What kind of mechanism is that? So when a client hits an obsolete endpoint, then the API server will respond with something like this. Hey, you are trying to access an obsolete endpoint. Then the app will know, oh, this is an obsolete endpoint. Then what will the app do? Then the client will then show the please update screen. This is the Cabe Pedas app. So it will it will show up a pop-up screen, then basically asking the user to, hey, your app version is too old, please update. Then if the user press the update button, they will be redirected to the Cabe Pedas app store, Play Store. Wow, they have like 10 million downloads, not bad, huh? So by implementing this please update mechanism, we can see that we can increase the adoption rate of the version 2 while also decreasing the rate of people accessing the obsolete endpoint. And then both of the developers are now shaking hands, and they can do their work in peace again. So summarize, the rule of thumb is that if you bump API, always bump API version if there are breaking changes. Don't worry about the numbering, because like, for example, if you have breaking changes, it's 6 months, then in like 50 years, you only have to increment like 100 number. Number is not a problem. And then the number 2 is that always tell user nicely when their app is no longer supported. You just don't make them open the app and then crash. It's really bad. You just at least tell them that, hey, your app is no longer supported. Please update the app. Right then, Q&A session. And oh yeah, Cabe Pedas is not hiring.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Cabe Pedas, very hot. Who likes hot food here? Okay, never mind. How about if you start with question and answer? Anyone have a question? Okay, maybe from that, those who are the farthest. We haven't touched that area very much. I'm afraid they will angry to me.
Oke, bahas aja ya.
Iya.
Saya mau tanya, tadi kan tunjuknya cuma satu endpoint aja kan, endpoint resep. Misalnya ada breaking change di resep, ya udah kita naikin jadi versi 2 misalnya. Nah, biasanya kan ada API lain tuh, misalnya untuk endpoint user login segala macem. Nah, itu endpoint yang lain itu ikut naikin ke versi 2 atau gimana biasanya?
Iya, semuanya naik.
Implementasinya biasanya gimana? Apa controllernya di copy apa gimana?
Jadi kan pakai routes kan. Nah, routes-nya itu diganti jadi version 3.
Oh gitu ya.
Iya.
Jadi berarti nanti misalnya yang ada breaking change di yang user misalnya, ikut yang lain juga naik ke versi 4 gitu ya. Oke.
Karena kan seperti yang saya bilang tadi, number itu cheap gitu kan. Kayak we have the integer that has until billion numbers limit, so we just keep increment.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Next, we're going a little bit up, maybe. Who wants to ask question a bit up there? Okay, that's the next one.
Are you trying to use other solution like GraphQL? Because as far as I know, that GraphQL solve that kind of problem. More easy to versioning an API.
Yes, so actually the app developer and the API developer has not settled on that GraphQL. So we will not use it for now because it will create a bloodbath between them. So we have not settled on that. But the idea has been arise a few times, but still on discussion.
Okay. Are you satisfied enough with the answer? Okay, thank you very much. Maybe next question? Okay.
Yeah, continuing the questions regarding the implementations, like if you already have the version 1 and then you actually not changing the version 1 to version 2, right? Because if you're changing the version 1, it will be brick.
Yeah.
So you like copy paste, and then the controller you copy paste for the whole of the controller, or how you do it, the implementations.
So we have some approach, but if else, there's also an if else.
So it's still in the same controller, but like if the request come from the version 3 and then do something else, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We still have one more question. We can still have one more question. Oh, two. We can still have two more questions. Okay, that one, please.
Hello, I want to ask about the versioning test. So you said that if the API has the breaking change, we need to create a new version. So how we test each version? If we have, let's say, 5 breaking change, then we will have 5 tests about each version. And how do we know remove the test for the version is not longer used?
Sorry, I don't really get.
Yeah, about the test. Yeah, you said that if we have a breaking change on API, we need to create a new version. So you need to create a new test for that version, right? Yeah, and let's say we have 5 breaking change and we have 5 version. So we need 5 tests for each version. And how do we know the test is not? How do we know the test? How do we remove the test if the version is not longer used?
Just remove it. I mean, it's like a separate responsibility between the client and the API, right? So if it breaks, then the client should know that, oh, if we hit this endpoint, it will break. While on the API server, they will just keep sending. Does it make sense?
So, yeah, but you said that you only have one controller for 5 version, yeah? So how the test doing it? Just remove one test per test, or do we need to create another test or something like that? Or do you even test it?
we have the test, so we have all the complete tests. So for version 1, version 2.
Oh, jadi so
we just test that this version 1 will spit out this version 2 will spit out this. Only
but
that.
each test goes to same controller, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. For the next questions, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Ardi. So my question is, so basically you're changing the URL by adding the version numbering, right? So for example, if I don't want to change the URL, how should I do the versioning? Versioning my API.
Then you will come to the problem of that, the crash problem. Like, because if you don't change the URL, then we cannot know whether it's an old or new endpoint, right?
So there's no other way.
Yeah. In our case, then we just use this versioning number to make sure that each client will connect with the correct version.
So basically, what I understand about Rails is that everything is a resource. So you're making the version number as a resource. Is it like that, or maybe my understanding of Rails is wrong? I see.
Okay.
Different route.
Is that it? Okay. Before we go to the next question, maybe you can speak a bit more close to the mic so we can all hear. Sorry. Okay. So this will be the next question.
Yep, we still have 3 minutes. It's okay.
Hello, thanks for the talk. So my question is continuation of the versioning. So one way of versioning that I'm aware of is semantic versioning, and the idea behind that is like if you're breaking changes, you upgrade the major part of the version, you bump up the version by 1 or whatever. So is there any other theory behind versioning that, apart from semantic versioning, that you know and I'm not aware of?
Well, what I know is that GraphQL has, like the guy at that site said, that they have like the sort of dynamic schema or something. I haven't really gotten really deep about it. So basically, what changes is the data that is being sent or something. So yeah, there's a lot of other type to handle this kind of problem.
Thank you.
But since we are a public company and we are sort of playing safe, so we just use the safest one.
Makes sense. Thanks.
Okay, maybe for another questions. Do we still have
Another
time?
question?
I think. Yep. Okay, for another question. Nope. Okay, so let's moving forward to our next session. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Harbin. Give applause.